Hello everyone, welcome to my Let's Play of Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm using a popular mod called Reforged Eden. Now you can find the link to this mod below. So I've decided to start this series on the snow dwarf planet of Sienna. This is considered to be a hard start at the early stages, can be very cruel, and if you get a bad seed it can be really punishing, to be honest. But with that said, I'll be looking out for hot springs and low valleys with wooded areas just to provide me with a bit of a buffer and some shelter from the wind and cold. Now, I'll be grabbing everything I can, of course, to help me survive. Hot drinks are going to play a vital role here, and of course, making some type of shelter as soon as I can is always going to be very important. Now, if you're like me and you enjoy survival games that just let you explore, build and just move along at your own pace, then this might just be what you've been looking for. So I'll just grab this because I'm bound to need some stone dust or some carbon substrate at some stage. Now, some of you would have noticed when I arrived on the planet I didn't decide to just drop into this valley straight away. That's because as I was coming down I noticed that there was some mats on the mountain there as we were coming in, so I just thought perhaps it'd be easier now to grab that quickly rather than running back up the mountain again later, because quite often on these maps all the materials you're looking for can be hidden up in the mountainside, so it's a good idea to kind of get there first if you can. Now, many people decide to just drop straight into the valley if they see one and it's nice and safe there, but of course, look what I've found straight away. I've been really lucky here with this seed. Now, I did mention earlier on about the seed, you can get really unlucky, but it does seem like I've managed to find quite a few of the basic resources I'm going to need to get going straight away, which is really nice. Now, I'm grabbing wood here just to get as much as I can early. Normally I wouldn't grab so much, but I do have something in mind that I want to build to help me survive here early. It's a level 3 base that I built myself, pretty much especially for this type of playfield, to be honest. You can build it at level 3, and like I said, it requires a fair amount of wood. I'll give you guys a look. Let me see, what's it called? I'm so disorganized here all the time. There we go. Domius Lignia, level 3. I think that's what it's called. Is it that one? Yeah, it must be, yeah. So, as you can see, it doesn't cost much. It's only level 3. And we can put that straight to factory, and it takes 9 minutes, 24 seconds. And the main real ingredient we're going to need is wooden planks, so that's why I like to grab as much wood as I can early and get this kind of started. So already I'm having inventory management problems. Now, this is tricky in the early game, and later we can kind of resolve these by having much better inventory management solutions. We'll be able to build bigger storage, we will have vehicles for storage, etc, etc. Now, as I mentioned, I did say I'm going to be using one of my own designs. Now, some of you might know me already from the Steam community, where I've been putting some regular uploads now for a couple of years. I built the Tranquility set and a few other bits and bobs on there that you guys might have already checked out. If you haven't, check out my videos that I've uploaded recently, and I'll also leave a link for you guys to follow when you get some time. Maybe you can check them out. So, because it's my first playthrough on camera, I think the wise thing to do is probably just use my own creations for this one. I can be creative, but I like to do that in creative mode, as it were, and then bring my creations into game when I do a Let's Play. But with that said, I think after this series I wouldn't mind doing some things where I could show you guys how I build, what type of things I like to build and how I like to go about it. There's some great builders around, and there really is, and I've used a lot of other people's stuff when I first got going. I mean, we couldn't talk about good builders and not mention the likes of Jay Randall, of course. I used all his stuff when I first started to get going, so yeah, huge kudos to that guy. He kind of encouraged so many of us really to kind of get involved in the game. But personally, I always found myself kind of not really enjoying a lot of the military style that a lot of these kind of a lot of them were available at the time, and for me I didn't really enjoy that military look as it was. But I started to come up with my own ideas of kind of this kind of weird science faction that hanged out on snow planets that liked to conduct some crazy unknown science that nobody knew what the hell was going on. So with the limitations of the game at the time, I kind of realised that if I wanted to build something kind of big that encompassed everything, I'm going to need to make things modular. And then of course it made sense, if they're going to be modular and be part of some kind of set, that they'd all be kind of solar powered in some way. But of course with Reforged Eden and the way that mod handles things, we can actually build some huge buildings and ships, etc. Because we can play with the CPU a little bit more. But my intention behind the set was to just create something that looked different to what I was finding myself on Steam. So I always liked the snow planet start, as we're doing on this playthrough to begin with. So I just wanted to make something that fit into that environment, I guess. So I came up with that kind of sleek, kind of minimalistic look that kind of looked nice and tidy, you know, like an Apple iPhone. But mainly it was just so that I could doodle and learn how to build and come up with something that I found aesthetically pleasing. Now, I have been really lucky. I found a very small deposit just back there. I'm not sure if you guys noticed when I was talking earlier, but I was looking at the ground, and just to my left there was a nice iron deposit, so that's a really good start. So for now I'm just going to keep on grabbing these trees, getting as much wood as I can, and get everything together for that level 3 BA that I intend to build. So I think the best tactic here for me right now would be, judging by the time of day, would be to just keep on gathering resources, getting as many buds as I can to buffer the cold. It's going to be a cold night, no doubt, and grabbing as much food as I can really, and making as many of those little choco bars as I can make. Okay, so I've reached my carry limit, so I'm going to run back, drop off what I can, and start maybe crafting this stuff down. As you can see, I've done quite well there really for the basic mats. A good bit of copper, silicon and iron. So I've got some daylight left. I better just use that time for now to try and grab what I can. Now, I'll show you guys my settings soon. I have bumped up the XP that you get a little, and I have bumped up the speed that the constructor constructs in. Besides that, nothing else really changed. I've got full weight values on and CPU limits as well. I've left resources on medium, their original setting. Drones, they are on high attack. Their presence is high, and I've left combat as the same. So, as I said, the name of the game here is just keep on grabbing the wood for now. It's going to get cold. It's going to get cold. It is cold. It's going to get dark soon. So, I need to kind of grab what I can, get as much resources on me, and I guess I'm going to burrow into the ground for the night. Would seem to make the most sense to me. So it's minus 14 at the moment, so I need to be careful floating around up here. Some type of obelisk down there or something. I could waste some time and try and dig around that thing, but I'm probably not going to find anything. There's a good bit of silicon here. I'm skirting around the edges of that wooded area because when you go in there, it does provide a nice buffer from the chill and the cold out by the mountains here. Now, looks like they've added new vegetation, which is great. Some plant fibers, that's always nice. Yeah, can't damage this thing. And I'm not going to dig it out. There's going to be nothing under there. It's all a mystery. So I'll just quickly risk the cold for a second and grab this. Probably a bit of copper. We're going to need some copper for some shotgun shells. Okay, I can't carry much more. Take some of that. Food is always nice. So let's get some of that. Oh, okay. So they're not perishable at least, so I find it's always wise to just keep your chocolate bars on your personal constructor, because I don't think they rot when they're in there. Okay, we're getting cold again. I don't have the inventory space to pick up that right now. So I'm just going to head back, unload what I have, and I'm going to guess it's probably time to maybe dig in for the night. Quick drink. Okay. So I've done the same thing that I always do. I've put my portable constructor down in the wrong place. So I could just dig down close by this, or maybe dig down for the night up by the iron deposit up there, if you can see it, the very small one. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's chuck some of this in the factory. Okay, so that's just over half of the wood done. I mean, we're very close with the copper and silicon. Don't think I'm going to need too much more of that. Yeah, so let's dig in, I guess. There's a couple of hours left now of sunlight, and it does get really cold at night time. I'm probably doing the wrong thing here. Maybe I should... Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's going to get dark, right? And I'm not going to be able to come out at night, really. It's going to be far too cold. So maybe I could use some of that time to dig out some of this iron. But of course I've left my portable constructor all the way over there. I think I'll just put my heater down soon and maybe just put another constructor in here. Just so I can offload the iron ore into it. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit cold now. Just create a little bit of a gap here and I'll put down the portable heater. And a bit of light to the situation, which is always nice. Okay, so I'm hungry. You really need to watch your hunger bar when you get too cold, because it will deplete really fast. So unfortunately, guys, we're stuck in a hole. I mean, it's not the first time I've been stuck in a hole, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But as long as I don't die in this hole, I'll be happy. So I can't build a constructor yet, and of course I've left all the iron ore in the other constructor. We can stay there for now. Okay, this looks different. I guess they've changed what it looks like. Can't see anything different, so iron ore just looks like gravel now. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to need to defend myself soon. I've been lucky as well. I haven't gone too far. I've stayed in the area where I've dropped in, which is, to be honest, I can't stress how lucky I've kind of been. And it wasn't pre-planned or anything. I didn't plan a seed or anything. It's I was lucky that you guys aren't just watching me die over and over right now. So I think the plan is stay around here just for now, for tonight. Should be able to get enough wood together and enough resources together to build that level 3 base I was talking to you guys about. Now it's nothing fancy, it's just a bit of shelter, and my main priority after putting that up, of course, is going to be getting some type of defense. Because I'm sure that I'm going to get attacked pretty much within a few minutes or so of plopping that base down, so I'm going to need some defences. So the temperature's dropping steadily now as we're starting to move closer to the night time. It will go to the minuses. Now of course in single player mode you can actually use your tent if you wanted to. I'm contemplating doing this, but one thing I have learned is that is to hold off using the tent straight away. You get 8 hours in the tent, and if you kind of wake up too early on a cold planet, you can suffer still then as well. So I like to kind of suffer on in the night for as long as I can, and then when the 8 hours brings me, say, to I'm going to wake up about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, because then the sun is nice and high and I can go about and gather quite a bit easier than before anyway. So I'm just thinking, is it worth going outside? It's probably a stupid thing to do, but I am a little bit low on food. Let's go and take a peek. Okay, I know that sound. Looks like spiders. Now when I first started playing the game, these things used to drive me insane. But there is a knack to getting them. Kind of just strafe along with them as they're running along. But they do like to zigzag about. But I'm kind of happy these guys came scurrying along, because I could do with the meat off these guys, of course. So I'm being a little bit silly. I am about to get cold, so I need to get a move on here. Now where's that? He's just there. Okay, so let's grab off him. Okay. So it's -7 now. I probably need to stop messing around. Let's just quickly get all this in. If I can at least get this started in the morning, we should be good to go. 1 second. Iron, copper, silicon, and we're going to need some wood, of course. Okay, so back to our hole. I'm just thinking. So it's going to get freezing soon. So it wouldn't hurt for now to take a little bit more of this while we warm up by the heater. And one thing I didn't do yet was actually take a look at the map and have a look around. So that could be worth checking out.
Just need to heat up a little bit more. So it's 10 hours, 11 hours until the sun comes up, so I need to at least wait a few hours before I decide to camp in the tent for the night. So yeah, it would make sense, I guess, yeah. As dull as this is, it makes sense to dig just a little bit more of this out for now. Trust me guys, I will cut out a lot of the mining and things like this in the future. But for now I'm going to keep this in as it's the first night. And who knows, I might not survive. But it looks like I'm going to make it. Have a little peek outside. Because I'm sure... Ah, good. Let's quickly cook this off, I guess. So in the morning, I'm going to need to get some wood. And I think I should have everything else I need. I need to be careful here now. It's still very cold. I think rather than waste too much time digging this out on camera, I'll just take a look at the map and our surrounding area for now. Send off a little ping first. Okay, let's just take a look. So the drop pod is there on the mountains where we dropped off. There looks like to be some resources on the other side of that. There's the dig site terminus there. There's bound to be a few resources there. It's worth taking a little trip down there, I think. That other resource looks a bit far away for now. And that's going to be our first mission location there. So, and there's some water in between us and that location. So it might be a good idea to set up somewhere around that area when we go to drop this base down soon. But for now, we're just going to dig in until the morning. And we should be in a much better position. Now, from what I can gather, all the starting planets are all in this system. So whichever start you decide, you inevitably end up in this system one way or another when you begin the game. Okay, so we'll take a little bit more iron. I'm just watching how long it takes for the sun to come up. We're at 9 hours now, so it's going to be worth dropping the tent down. Certainly not worth doing much out there right now. We've lost any kind of light whatsoever now. So I'm going to need to unlock a few things. I was talking about defense. We're going to need something, because I'm sure the Zyrax or Zirax are gonna, Ziraxian scum are gonna come and get us. So we're going to need sentry guns. We're going to need projectile turrets at least. I'd like to get a sniper as well. I do have 48 points. Flak work really well on planet side. I like them. They take out those bombers a little bit better, because you can make rocket launchers out of those. And I just find that the targeting system on them to take the bombers down a bit easier. But for now, a projectile turret will do. It will help. If I can get myself some armor, a sniper, and I'm going to need all these basics. Now, even though I'm dropping a base down that has these things, these basic things inside it, I do like to make sure I've unlocked what is actually going to be in my base, or else it just doesn't seem fair for you guys to be watching. Okay, so I could just start getting prepared. Hopefully I can maybe drop a constructor down, and maybe get that started with the body armor. Now, it does offer some protection against the heat, but I don't think it gives much against the cold. Just making sure. I mean, yeah, I could do with opening the fridge, some other bits, but I do need some weapons as well, so I'm going to need to get the shotgun. I think that's important. And it would be nice to get the sniper, but I'm going to need armor, so it makes sense to get that first. And of course that leaves me with 5 points. Okay. So that's as far as we're going to go with that for now. Of course I'm going to try and press it anyway, just in case, but okay.
braking and create a little bit of room, I guess. Maybe try and flatten this terrain a little bit. I think I'll just pop to that other constructor a second. Maybe grab a few things. It's going to be cold out there. Okay. I'm not moving. That's not my footsteps. Run away. I'm sure that's probably just another spider. Sounded like a spider. Maybe he's going to leave me alone down here. And of course I'm getting cold. Yeah, I can hear the spider just above my head someplace. So, remember I said earlier, I'll probably need carbon substrate at some stage. Yeah, I think it's worth going up to get him. I'm a little bit hungry. I can hear him. Hello? Ah. That's kind of nice that he sat in one spot for me to just pummel this into his head. Thank you. So I'm probably burning off more food than I'm gaining from that one chunk of meat, but this is what you do in the middle of the night, trying to burn through some time. Okay, so I think it's time to eat that. Okay. Probably wasn't a good idea to go out there, I don't think. So I'm going to go back out. Okay, so we have 2 buds. That's going to make another hot drink. Let me see. Back down to the hole. Yeah, I think it's going to be time for the tent. At this rate, I think I'll be lucky to make the night now. I have no food left. Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing about these cold planet starts. You kind of end up in a slow progression at the beginning. And trust me, the progression can be slower than what you guys are watching now. I have been lucky here in a few aspects. And quite often I've started and it's took me so long to find some iron ore, to even get a constructor going, and then finding it difficult to get food and things like this, so you end up in this loop, and I'm sure you've all been there. So you can appreciate that this has been a nice start for me here. I mean, at this stage it makes sense to plop the tent down, I think. I have some carbon substrate started. I'm going to need more. That base requires 300 or so. So, let's have a sleep. Okay, that's moved our temperature up. We've lost a little bit more food. So I think number one priority is going to be food. So let's do some scouting. Find some food. Hopefully we can make some chocolate bars as we're running around and scouting around. I'm going to stick in this valley again. It makes sense. There was some building down here if I remember rightly. So let's get Choco started. Pop that on us, we're going to get cold. And as we're running around, just keep on gathering, I guess. That will give us some XP boost, and hopefully we can gather some supplies, because we're really low. So I'm just going to keep on scouting around here, making my way down to that building, and hopefully find something useful down there to maybe put into our factory. I'm going to need some more wood. Just making sure I'm not seeing any dangerous wildlife around. Of course, I'm being silly now. I'm using up all my stamina. I'm just going to burn my food. Okay. Hopefully I've got some choco bars ready to go. Okay, let's munch them down. Let's see what we have in here. Useful. Now, some food would be nice. I'm sure I might find more if I go digging, but I really don't want to waste any of this daylight on this. So I'm going to just take what I can and get out of here. Okay, not bad stuff in here. Okay, getting some rads off that. Bit of wood, copper. Is there going to be something up there? Just quickly take a look. Okay. Maybe a terminal for progression with the story in a bit later on or something. There's a heat buffer here. Okay, I don't see anything else up there. Don't want to waste any time on. Okay, I need to keep with the program, and the program is food. Now, I'm not seeing too many buds. I could do with a bit more of them. I'm going to stay away from him for now. Okay. Some buds, which is good. That should help if we need to journey outside this valley and find a new place to settle down. To try not to stray too far away, I'm going to grab this bit of silicon. A bit more iron. Okay, I think it's worth risking the cold just to get these little bits of extra here, because I'm going to need some ammunition for the gun, for the shotgun. Okay, let's nip back out of this cold. I think I can grab this time. We have a few hours left, so it would be wise to gather the rest of that wood, I think. I think it was about 900 I needed. Something like that. Okay, nearly full. May as well grab this. Some more fibers, a bit of XP, and focus on wood again. Okay. So let's head back. Should have enough food to last me a little while. I can probably pick up some small bits and pieces, perhaps. It's worth getting the buds. Trying to conserve a little bit of my stamina. Okay, so we should be able to just pop this lot back in the constructor. I need carbon substrate as well. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to need more wood than that though. Yeah, nearly 300 carbon substrate. So if I grind down the copper, make myself some ammo. And I think the shotgun would be nice. So stick with the program. There's not an awful lot of light left, so I think the best thing to do now is to try and guarantee that I get enough wood today. And of course I'll gather any kind of supplies and whatnot along the way. Now I'm hoping we don't bump into any aggressive creatures along the way because I'm kind of ill prepared to deal with them. I'm going to keep on focusing on these trees, get fully stocked up on them. Okay, so just leave them behind me for now. I'm sure I have enough room for some mushrooms. And back to our hole. I just want to take out that little notch there. Every time I've ran down, it's kind of made me bobble around it. Of course, I'm not going to be running down here much longer. We always fix things at the end. So right now, just gonna see if I can get everything together for this base. I'm gonna have to break that wood down. Carbon substrate. We're 2/3 of the way on that one. Okay, we're getting there. So I'm going to need some stone dust. Yeah. So get you started. And yeah. We've got a small bit of food on us. We don't need much more. Okay. Out of our rabbit hole again. We have 4 hours of light. I think I like the look of this one. So I think we just need a few more of these. We can get back then. Make the carbon substrate we need. And I may as well just grab a few things now while I'm out and it's still light. Of course I'm burning through my energy again. Chomp down on some chocos. And I think should be good to go with this one. I'm pushing it close now for time, so I need to get back. Yep, this is a big one. Okay, nearly there. Still got my eye on the clock. We should be good to go with this. Should be enough carbon substrate. And maybe enough stone left over for anything that we might need. Copper, silicon wise. I do need to get my my weapon up and going, so I do need to get the shotty going. And some ammunition for that as well. And like I was saying earlier, on these harder starts, the progression in the beginning can just take a bit longer than your other starts perhaps. We're coming up on over an hour now of recording, so I do intend to keep the quality of these recordings high when I upload them, so they're going to be quite large files. So I'm thinking it would be wise soon to maybe end episode 1. It would be nice to get our construction started inside our factory, and then maybe next episode we can open up the episode with just needing to find a place to put that down. So keep pumping the wood in, as they say, and yeah. Okay. A little bit more. Bit of copper, 5 silicon. We're going to need that carbon substrate again. Let's get that started. Okay, so bit of silicon, copper. Oh, we need a bit more. Okay. So, out the rabbit hole again. I'm just trying to take advantage here of the daylight hours that I have left. It just makes sense to do this right now rather than wasting time organising things by the personal constructor. Okay, a bit more food. Good. It's probably worth just taking a quick look up there. Yeah. Okay, not an awful lot here. I could try shooting them down for meat, but to be honest, it wastes too much of the day, like hours chasing them around. I could have got the shotgun quicker if I focused, but I kind of sensed that the area I was in, I wasn't really in an awful lot of danger apart from spiders, so it made sense to focus on getting the base down. But I can't help burning through my stamina. Okay, there's level 7 and a few more points. And some food, which is always nice. I think I'm gonna circumnavigate the perimeter of this body of water here and maybe loop on back around. It's quite windy in this area, it's quite open. Just a quick scoot around now. I'm just trying to grab food, really ideally. Okay, I don't really want to waste too much time. I'll grab that one. Some buds there, that will be helpful. Yeah, the temperature's fluctuating in different spots. Okay, finding plenty of food, plenty of buds. We should be good to go and explore and find a decent place to put the base down. But I don't think that would be a good idea to do now. So unfortunately, it looks like we have a second night in our home, which should be fun. So I'm just going to keep on scooting around now, making my way back around, and hopefully not bump into anything.
makes sense to grab a little bit more wood. Okay, we're full again. So let's head back. I can see the sun is going down. There's a nice red glow in the sky. So I have kept the settings reasonably high to try and keep the beautifying of the whole thing. But to be honest, it really does look well for the engine that this game is running on. And I have to say, you know, they are doing quite a good job, really, in the graphics-wise, in the graphics department, considering the tools they have. Okay. No room for a mushroom? There's always room for one mushroom. Hello. I always get this bit muddled up. Yep. So they'll try and confuse you, and one will run forward while the other one runs behind that you were focusing on. It's trying to get you to draw your fire, so it takes longer to kill them. You just gotta keep focused on your one spider, but now he's stuck above him. Oh yeah, nice. Quickly grab some meat off him while he decides to go running around. And he's stuck. Okay, well, that's worth 600 XP, I think. I did boost the XP up a little bit because it can take an awful long time at the start to just try and get going, which isn't very entertaining for a Let's Play, for an audience to sit down and watch. The first episode of any Empyrion playthrough on a hard setting can be a little bit slow progression, which I'm sure a few of you will be aware of. Okay, we should be organised enough now to at least get the factory started. Chuck what we can in here. So wood, some carbon substrate. Chow down on some meat. It's food. It's unsatisfying, but it's the only food I have. Okay, I think that's got to be enough carbon substrate now. Just a little bit more, just in case. Should be enough. Okay, good, so let's start that. So, 9 minutes. And because it's dark, I don't want to go and explore in 9 minutes in freezing cold, so it's probably a good place to leave this episode, as I'm going to need a little bit of daytime hours and a little bit of cooler temperatures to go scouting for a decent enough place to plop this base down. I'm not going to be too fussy, we just want some water really, and we need to be able to deal with the temperatures. Maybe some resources close by, something like this. So the good thing is we're going to get the shotgun done, and we're going to get our armor done, and we're going to have some ammo. So you guys might not know that on Steam my name is Ripley,
And I've been creating some content now for Empyrion for a couple of years. I don't release very often, but I do come back now and again. I have a doodle. So if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to tune in, subscribe, and leave a like. And if you'd like to join me again for the next one, you're going to get notified. So with that said, I'm going to say goodbye everybody, and thank you very much for tuning in.